me again.
I had to. I had this all done. What was it? OCAC youth ball.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are logged into the OCAC YouTube account on that laptop, you guys can see the same screen I see.
Are we recording now?
Yeah.
So they can actually see us?
Yep.
Great. Trying to resolve some technical issues here, so give us a few seconds. You have your own account?
No, I wanted to sign in as a league account so that. Not getting signed in though. CAC YouTube. Right?
Is that the account name?
Yeah.
Sign in to mine, because you can pull it right up.
Yeah, I can-
Rodney Smith.
yeah, you probably want to.
239 at mine.com. At mine. Pound. Capital US. You will just pull up right.
No, it didn't sign in. Ah, dang it. All right, well, let's go ahead and start talking. I'll figure out how to get into this thing.
Yeah, right now we can't see who's logged in and who isn't, but we'll figure it out.
Well, even if you, like on my side, I can see everything, and you can't see names unless they comment on them.
Right. So everybody chime in so we know who's here, please. Say something. Anybody chiming in?
Mark Laughlin, Jim Haar, Ryan Hertz,
What's up, Mark? Hey, Jim. Hey, Brian.
Bryce Speed, Braden Taylor, JJ Hess. Mark says nice hair.
I expect that from a Marine.
No, it's wanting me to log in as Taylor.
Steve Sharge is here.
Right. Right, hey, I'm gonna start talking aimlessly until we figure out what we actually see everything. David will kind of pass on anything that you guys bring up while we go through this. So, basically what we want to do is, it's kind of hard to get everybody together, kind of figure this is probably the easiest way to pass on information that we need to take care of for this year. Most of the manager meetings we've done, everything else we've done with the umpire training, we've all recorded.
Did you turn down your microphone? I turned it off. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I'm still on, right?
Yeah, you're still on.
So you probably didn't hear anything I just said.
They were able to hear you, just a little quiet.
All right, so we're going to repeat. So basically, we're going to go ahead and move forward till we can kind of figure out how we can see what you all are talking about. Anything you want to throw into, which is league related only, please. Let's keep it PG. I'd appreciate it. Want to go over a few things, some things we had problems with last year. Everything we've done this year, as I was saying a little bit earlier, before I realized my mic wasn't turned on, was the fact we've recorded all the umpire training. And we are now getting everybody together to go over a few things that changed rule-wise. Nothing major. Try to adapt to some situations that occurred from last year. Talk with you all about any issues that we need to focus on for the upcoming season. We're trying to move forward in the technology age, so we're going to be casting videos from the park, pictures, things of that nature. So you all might want to look good when you're out on the field for a change. Not wearing toe straps for belts or whatever.
No mustard stains on the shirt.
No mustard stains or anything of that nature. So, first thing we're going to talk about is a run rule limit. If you remember on the rules that we had that crazy after 3.5, after 2. Want to make sure everybody's on the same page. It's a straight up 15 after 3, 10 after 4, 8 after 5. That's it. Hopefully it solves some of the problems that everybody's had during the past couple of years. People calling games with the wrong run rule limits. That's pretty much a standard anymore, so kind of go with that. Tim's still logging in, but we'll be all right soon, I think.
Yeah, we're getting there, so.
The other thing we want to talk about, we had a lot of games last year that got called way too early. For those of you doing 8U machine pitch, boys, and player pitch, keep in mind the 5-minute rule is a 5-minute rule. It means no new inning starts with 5 minutes or less left in the ball game. Okay? That doesn't mean you can call the ball game 20 minutes early. Right?
So,
Because you think the team,
so you end the game at 15 runs after 3 innings?
if it's a run rule limit, a legit run rule limit, it's 15 after 3, 10 after 4, 8 after 5. David's kind of passing on the questions right now for us, so.
Where'd you get to your chat at, David?
If you go back up into the camera and go to the live streaming,
Is that the same thing for machine pitch?
then you go to classic live streaming like I showed you.
No. 7U and 5.6U, it's just drop dead.
Create
one
stream?
Machine pitch.
8U machine pitch,
Men like boys.
yeah.
I just double checking just for.
Go to classic live streaming down here.
So we're kind of passing on the conversation as we go here.
There you go.
But the biggest problem we've had is the 5-minute rule.
There you go.
We had too many umpires that were speculating that the other team, you don't know how long the next inning is going to go. So if you haven't hit the 5-minute time, and there's still an opportunity that a team could tie another team within the next 2 innings, you can't call the ball game if it hasn't hit a run rule limit. So please save us all the headache that we had last year if possible.
All right, I think we're on now.
Hey, Tim's on now, so he can see it a little bit easier from what we had. What do we have in there?
All right, yep. 5 after 5, I mean, yeah, 3 after 5. Okay. I think we're caught up now, so.
Any questions that were in there?
Nope, I think we answered them all so far. Dave Hall's there. Yeah, 15 after 3. Okay.
Lineup sheets. Please make sure it's first name, last name.
You gotta look at the camera.
I don't have to look at him. I don't want to see my face anyway. So. First name, last name, number. Okay? Fill everything out on a lineup sheet. Please fill out all the game cards, front and back. How many innings, how long the game was, how many minutes, please. If there's a slot on the card, there's a reason for it. You all find this time to write funny notes on there to me in the notes section, but then you fail to fill everything else out. Just fill the whole thing out, and it saves us a lot of headaches here in the office. So.
Eric and Jake just joined us too.
Welcome. Anybody got any questions about last year before we move forward?
Any concerns we need to address, or?
Everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is just terrible. We got it going now, I think.
Yeah.
First time doing something like this.
Yeah, this is first live. We've had live feeds, but not where we're talking to nobody. Other than Big Nick sitting here in a chair, so
Yeah. Flip him around and show him.
we'll pop him in. Guess he had nothing better to do than come up and see my beautiful hair.
There we go. Now you got Nick. And Katie's back there too, so. JJ Hess, is there another field training this weekend?
No, we have no more training. If you're not trained by now, we can't help you.
Yeah, we can maybe try to get you paired up with somebody else, but that's going to be difficult right now. Brian Hertz, coaches that complain after every call. Guess wondering how to handle that.
How to handle it?
Awesome. Is that what you're asking, Brian? How to handle problem coaches, or?
Don't worry, I'm not coaching this year.
No, Nick's not coaching, so you guys are off the hook.
All right.
Hey, your mic's cutting in and out.
Mine?
Yeah.
It was Brian, right? So what are you talking about, Brian?
Yeah.
What kind of complaints? You talking about every strike, every ball, every call, or what are you talking about?
He says it's just something that the coaches need to understand.
That's never going to change. It's been going on since we started writing on paper instead of rock. So, unfortunately, it's one of those things that we can preach to the coaches all day long, but it's not going to change. So, basically, take control early. Be my best recommendation. Take control early and let them know. And you can always, Brian, you can always pull the old Toby. Question in the strike zone, coach?
Yeah, Mark says if Nick's not coaching, that'll eliminate half the ejections.
Oh, man. That's harsh.
Yeah. And Owen Wilson, when is the test? Remember we talked about you were going to give them a test when everything's done? Did you not?
Hey, your test will be on your first game. No test this year, I'm telling you right now. So don't have time.
Yeah, we just kind of ran out of time.
Yeah. We've been pulling a lot of time up here, just so you know, between manager meetings and umpire training every weekend and everything else. So just not enough time. So. If you're in the system, then that means you're good to go.
I took care of that one.
Okay, thank you.
What was that? Oh,
Just a comment.
was it one of ours?
Yeah. See, Brian, then when they chase us down in the gangway, if we don't do it, then we do it the Toby way, haha. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they're chasing you down and following you to the cars, I mean, you got to put a stop to that and just tell them right then that, you know, it is in our rule book that if they pursue you out to the parking lot, they are at risk of having the O'Fallon Police Department called and being removed. And you can politely remind them of that, and if they continue, just pick your phone up and call me or Rod or call the O'Fallon Police directly, and we'll take care of it. I mean, you hate to get to that point, but that's pretty much where we're getting. I mean, we don't want coaches following you guys out to the parking lot or approaching you at your cars. You just need to stop them there and say, look, you know, if you got a problem, take it up with the office. You can file it in writing, but we're not going to discuss it here. If you continue, then by rule, I am obligated to call the police department and have you removed. Does that help, guys?
Definitely report it to the office too.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely let the office know if something like that happens so that we can handle it.
Yeah, because the coaches are ready to love me. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric Bennett, when will games be on a signer?
I would have had the other ones up, but I got the Pee-wees done quicker, so I was just going to try and wait another day, make sure I don't have any conflicts. So they'll all be up by Friday, but possibly tomorrow. So hold tight. I was going to turn the other ones on, but had so many issues. I had to make so many changes in the schedule, and whatever we have to change in one system, we have to change in both. So whenever you start changing in both, now you're looking about errors, mistakes, and just not worth it. So
Just here so you can kind of see the comments too. We've got.
I haven't been able to make any of the trainings because of golf. I umpired last year, and I'd like to do again. Would I be able? Do you still have your sign in, Caden? If you still have your sign in, you're still good to go.
And then Mark wants to know, is there a way to get rid of the past season games?
No. I mean, eventually we can go in and remove the past season games, but you got to figure we have to keep them X amount of time in the system. So, who is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's not. Remove Grant
Yeah.
Barish.
Yeah.
He's not enough.
Not sure who Grant is, but he needs to go. This isn't a
Yeah.
place for him.
Nope.
There we go.
Thanks.
Yeah, I just saw that.
That's the only problem with live feeds. You get a bunch of idiots in here. So, but it does make it easier than trying to pile everybody into a cafeteria in a high school or somewhere.
Yep. All right, what else you want to move to?
What else you want to talk about? Any pay adjustments, just so you know, too, have not been done, but I will have taken care of in the system. Anybody that was eligible to move up in pay will be taken care of before first paycheck. So once we get everything done, we're ahead enough on schedule on most everything that we've got time to take care of everything. So
Yeah, if you guys could also, especially at Overazi, I see it a lot. The shed doors getting left wide open. I know some of you guys leave your equipment in there. Just push the shed doors closed when you're done in there. Even if there's people there, they can open it back up and reclose it. It just keeps people out of there, keeps honest people honest. You know, I hate to see for where you guys have your equipment stolen out of there while you're out because the shed doors are wide open. Not to mention we have the mounds in there, so.
All right, Mark, I won't tell your wife if you get a raise.
But we get 10% of it.
Yeah, I was gonna split it with you. Tim's cheaper than me. Eric Bennett said the same thing. Man, you all are terrible. I mean, you hiding your money from your wives? Come on now.
That's why I'm watching it here, not at home.
What if you forgot your login? To a signer?
Devontae, you're killing me, brother. That's all I can tell you. So I'll send you I'll resend you tomorrow in the office. I'll send you your login link again. You can reset your password. So
I wasn't listening with the beginning, so you covered the.
speaking of mounds, do we have to move the mounds? Typically, you shouldn't have to. So that's Jim, isn't it? I believe Jim Hess.
Yeah.
Typically, you won't have to move the mounds unless for some reason the field guys make a mistake or something. Normally, if you have to, get somebody, you know,
Coaches
from the other
or-
coaches and everybody to help you out.
Yeah.
The only time I'm aware of, based on the schedule that's getting ready to go up there, would be there's a time frame, first week of May, which odds are you're not going to be on anyway because it's going to be on 11 and 12U over on B, and that's when Zumwalt has the fields, and they'll be playing almost right up till 6 o'clock, so that means they're running at 60, 90, and we have to move back to 50, 70. So. Otherwise, everything is pretty much staying stationary on every diamond
Yeah.
this year. So the only time we run into issues would be sometimes, you know, on a Monday coming off a weekend if the guy said it wrong, or if somebody moves it on a night in between. If somebody's not playing on it, then the mound might be off, and if the field guys forget to double check it. But we should have a pretty good crew on fields again this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Jason from last year's returning, and then I believe Evan.
yeah,
Evan
and
is helping
Evan's gonna be
again
good.
this year, so
So it shouldn't be a problem. So.
shouldn't be. So I missed the beginning when you were talking. You covered the mercy rule, and then what about games ending early? Did you talk
Yeah.
about that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Also, we're gonna. I don't know how many of you actually worked over at Westoff last year. We had those base plugs that we were giving you to hand out to the coaches after the end of the game. We're gonna try to get a bucket of them also over to the Ozzy shed. So if you guys could remember to grab those and take them to your field and have the coaches put those in at the end of the game when they pull the bases, that'd be great. It worked out really well at Westoff last year, so we're hoping to expand that over to Ozzy. Again, there'll just be a bucket in there, and hopefully you guys can just remember to grab 3 of them and take them with you.
We don't have Josephville's playing with us, but they actually only had like one team, so they're going to play through Flint Hill. So we do not have Josephville to umpire this year. It's strictly St. Paul and us, and St. Paul will be paying a $10 travel fee on top of the
Okay,
regular.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just to let everybody know, if you see St. Paul games out there and it seems like a little bit of a drive for you, they will pay the $10 extra on that. So.
Okay. Yeah, on the base plugs, basically it's a foam plug with a whiskers, for better lack of words, sticking up. So when they pull the bases out, these plugs go down in the holes so that they don't fill up with dirt. It makes it easier for the field crews the next day to find the holes and get the bases put back in a timely manner. So that's what we're talking about, base plugs.
Jim has. Can you quickly go over the 5-minute rule option again? Basically, no new inning begins with 5 minutes or less left in the ball game. So if you're doing an hour and 30-minute ball game, you're going to set the timer for an hour and 25. You can't start a new inning once the timer goes off. Does that help, Jim?
Yeah. And the only time you would keep playing is if one or the other team can come back and win. So.
Corey, I hate to bum you out, dude, but the person handling the church, I know there's a name for him, sounds terrible, but I'm not Catholic. He does not allow beer sales in St. Paul, just so you know. It's not like the old days when I used to umpire there all the time. So, unfortunately, no beer there. Yeah, Mark says he makes sure and points out to the coaches the ground rules that the next inning starts as soon as the third out is recorded. So remember that. If you had a third out come in and then the timer goes off, you already started the next inning. Okay?
Yeah, and also, Mark, you're correct on that too. If the timer goes off, third out's made, and there's still time, and the mercy rule is hit at that point, then yeah, the game is done at that point. You don't start a new inning. So
That's all right, Herb. We just figured out how to chat too, so we're good.
yeah, it took us a little bit too. So don't feel bad.
Yeah, Corey, that was my favorite part about St. Paul, man. You get done umpiring and be a cold beer sitting on the edge of the counter for everybody who was of age, just so you know. But that's not there anymore. So. Who is this Tuscan gamer?
I think it's the kid and his dad. I think it's the kid.
Root beer. I had no idea if they have root beer, dude. I don't drink root beer.
Lucas.
You guys are old. I think you're older than me, Mark, aren't you?
I'm pretty sure Mark's older than me, too.
Yeah.
Drinking the Natter days?
Huh?
You drinking the Natter days now?
I don't drink that. I don't even drink beer anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Tuscan Gamer's Lucas. All right.
Is it Lucas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Mark, we're old.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, but you're prettier. That's debatable for sure.
Thank you, Mark. Love you.
It's getting a little creepy in here.
Yeah.
I can mess with him because he's a Marine, see, and they couldn't go anywhere without the Navy anyway, so we had to take him everywhere he had to go.
And you're still taking care of him, right?
Yeah.
And you're still taking care of him.
You know he's going to come back on that one. I know he is, but I couldn't resist. Pee-wees, remember, any of you that are in there doing pee-wees, the 1 hour ball games, it's drop dead, okay? You play a full hour, let the last batter bat.
Yeah. And also on if there's any Pee-wee umpires in there, talking with the managers, I guess last year they had a problem with, they would come up to the first batter and the ball still wasn't throwing good over the plate, or they claimed. Just make sure that if you start the game and the ball is throwing high or low to that very first pitcher, let them get it dialed in before you start counting pitches against a team. It should be dialed in before they start, but I mean, if they start throwing to their first batter and it's thrown way over their head or bouncing off the plate, let them readjust and start over. And certainly don't do that for every batter, but the first batter that comes up, it should be throwing really good. So.
And we're at the end of this soon. Now we got Walter Wiener on there.
Yeah, you guys don't know him.
I don't know who Walter Wiener is. No.
No.
Yeah.
Don't know where you're back from, Walter, but I don't recall you being one of our umpires.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's the joy of live chat.
Yeah.
I'd hate to turn all the umpires on them.
Can you explain under what circumstances you would stop time? So in the middle of a game when we'd actually stop the timer for a reason? I'm guessing that's what you're talking about, Eric? One that right off the top of my head, if that's what you're talking about, would be rain delays. So if we pause a game for rain, you're going to want to stop the timer, right?
Hence the importance of, if you don't finish the game after you stop it, writing the time down when you did stop it.
Yep.
You're going to stop for an injury.
Yep.
After the play is finished. If it's any kind of a heavy injury, it's going to take time.
Yeah, if it's going to take more than 5 minutes or so, I would stop the timer at that point.
Whenever this chat's going through,
Yeah.
I think there's like a 45 second break from
Yeah.
when you guys are talking whenever the chat goes through.
Yeah, and I can see it on the screen here from where
So
my movements and talking is, that if there's a delay, so, yeah.
So there's a delay
Yeah.
between these comments and when you guys are talking, just so you know.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of elite divisions, but everything does apply.
This year does the drop dead rule. Are you talking about the softball elite divisions that we did last year?
We don't
Jim?
have any 12U softball elite.
Yeah, so there's no, I
Nope.
believe that's what you're talking about. Just taking us old guys that long to read. Yeah.
Injury does stop time if it's a major injury. Not just any, serious, like blood, limbs flinging around, things of that nature. That might be a reason to stop the game.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I just don't have my glasses on, Mark.
Yeah. Toby wants to know if we can keep all the coaches in the dugouts this year.
We could put those tie ropes on them, like those little leashes you can put on kids when you go in the mall. We could make them all wear that and attach them to the fence.
Yeah.
What do you think? Think that'll work, Toby? Lucas, you're killing me, brother. Just telling you right now, I'm going to keep you down on 5U. It's probably going to happen. Bungees. There you go, Mark. Yeah, bungees. Just because some of us are old doesn't make us brittle. Absolutely, man. I'm built like a rock.
A lead rock.
Think we're kind of having fun here now. Yeah.
So,
Oh, we need some margaritas,
yeah.
some Dos Primos tacos. We'll be good. So, all right. So, I ain't gonna keep you much longer because we're actually tired of being here every night. So, if you got anything else you want to throw at them,
So I was trying to think if there's anything else we need to let them know. I think we got everything. For those that haven't been up to the park, they did redo all the fencing around Field 1, so there's no more gaps underneath the fence, no more fence sticking out in the way. It actually looks really nice. They did a really good job on it. It looked a lot like Field 4, if you guys have seen Field 4.
So the field crew starts hitting it again.
Yeah, till the field crew starts.
they were putting new
starts
roofs
pulling
on the dugouts the other day.
Yeah. Field
So-
2 and 3 had new fencing around it for those that weren't here in the fall. Any actual rule changes or just reinforcing what was changed last year? Yeah, no new rule changes, just trying to make sure everybody enforces what's there.
I didn't even know all of you even looked at the rule book. Didn't even know if there was a rule change.
So, yeah, so if you guys still have your rule books from last year, they're still good. You don't have to get a new one unless you just want one that says 2019. So we'll have some at the shed if you prefer to get one for this year, but your rule book from last year has not changed, if you still have it.
Hey, Mark, me and you's got to do a game this year, brother.
Anything they should know that we told the coaches at the coaches meeting? You did most of those. I was sick that week when you had most of those guys.
No, we don't have a pitch clock on the MLB like the MLB. Doesn't happen. That was what, Corey? Anything we should know that you told the coaches at the coaches meeting? And anything we would have told them, they won't remember anyway. So, just a reality. We all know that. So, no. Basically, anything we go over with you all, they all are supposed to know, but we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah. Season is scheduled to start the week of April 8th. Rod can answer when he's going to get the schedules uploaded. I think he covered that once already. But
Yeah, here in a couple of days. Any player pitch, 8U machine pitch starts week of April 8th. All 7U, 5-6U starts May 6th. Might be able to wrap up, hopefully.
yeah, I mean, unless you guys got some more questions, I don't think there's. There was just a few topics that was issues last year, like Rod went over the.
Mark, you ain't got to wash your stuff, man. Just hit some Febreze on it. Hang it up in the garage for a little while. Let it air out. Ask Corey. He knows all about that. Right? All righty.
So
We're going to get out of here. Thanks for dealing with us, getting our act together on this. It's our first one. We might have one during the middle of the year. You never know.
y'all cut out when are the games going into a signer? Hopefully they're in there by Friday.
Yes.
This Friday, hopefully. Is Rod's goal.
Eric said, I don't think washing will help you, Mark. That's when umpires are very kind to each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
All right.
Appreciate it, Mark.
It'll be a fun year, everybody. Thanks for coming out, and we'll kind of go from there. Time to rock and roll. Game on for now on.
All right. Yep, we're done. We'll catch you guys later. Got any questions, call Rod.